Okay, we should be live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Distant Dungeons. It's been a hot minute, but we're back. We haven't been doing much streaming other than our main Tales of the Rupture. That being said, we should be reeling back in for the October. Today is our 4th episode of Age of the Sleeping Gods. And we will be picking off from where we left off last August, I believe. And yes, with me here today from the classic crew of the Tales of the Rupture, we have Chiara, who here is playing as Ostre, our warlock Haringon. We have Adam, who is playing a human-adjacent wizard necromancer, Zenkila. And Nathan, who is playing Solemn, a elven a Shadar-kai ranger. Yes, indeed. And we play in the world of the sleeping gods, this warped reality of dreams and memories that exists simply by the means of these entities that continue to dream and think and try to remember who they once were. Quick top up of our usual schedule just to let everyone know. We're usually streaming, much like today, Wednesdays and also Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. CEST. In fact, tomorrow Adam will be doing a gaming stream playing TCG Simulator, so stop on by and enjoy that as well. Otherwise, we do Tales of the Rupture, usually like today. In fact, we'll have another session in the next 2 weeks. And otherwise, we tend to do stuff whenever we can. So yeah, that's about it there. So let's get started. Last we left off, the party, after having dealt with recovering some of their lost memories, and attacked by the enemies of the sleeping gods, these arch spells, these creations of the rivaling pantheon, had managed to find your location, perhaps by being alerted by what you had done, or other means. You were informed by one of these sleeping gods, these agents that have assigned themselves to you, that a way to prevent this is to find an incantation to hide yourselves. That being said, it's required to beseech an entity that is neutrally aligned within the greater war between the waking and the sleeping gods, but someone who could potentially provide assistance. One that in fact only could be found by the Dreamwalker, apparently. We slowly and steadily, Solemn has more and more fallen into that role, seemingly having once been this Dreamwalker and missing the memories from a death that has happened before. You journey seeking this Yirsala, this entity, and you accidentally stumble upon a sanctum of the Raven Queen, of the Shadar-kai, and there you speak to the Raven Queen, Solemn specifically, and there you unlock some of the greater potential of the Dreamwalker. With that, you actually manage to seek the path and find Yirsala, going through the Whispering Wood. And there you fight agents of one of the archspells, successfully, though perhaps was a harrowing fight, after which a voice carrying on the wind, in spite, tried to bring you down, as it were, called you vermin and believing you and calling you fools for serving the sleeping gods. You move past and find the cottage of Yirsala, this void infested, this emptiness of a space where the cottage lies, where the grass cannot grow, but the moon shines, providing you sanctuary. You speak to her, and she is amicable indeed. Zenkila speaks to her, and there is a perhaps found kinship in some kind of either your demeanor, being much yourself quite pale and hollow in your appearance, and she resembling that same physique, though perhaps more tattered and older.
Mm-hmm.
She allows you to rest, and indeed you may do so, taking this empty space where Zenkila's skeletons form a perimeter and provide a guard for the rest of you, and essentially you may rest. Past that point, if anyone doesn't want to do anything else, Zenkila has re-upped her undead's control, and thus for another day they are yours to command. They welcome the much like a mother's blessing, and they acquiesce. And to the rest of you, if you wish, you may long rest.
Yay.
And indeed, the moon is still out as you awake. There is no shift physically of the day, but you do feel, you felt the pull of the dreamland, of the dreamscape itself. Your ability to move getting distorted, and now that you've awoken from your sleep, you feel rejuvenated. You feel once more in control as mortal dreams. The cottage still is there. The feeling of emptiness still invades the space. But you have been already told by Yirsala that you may speak on the morrow. And we continue from there.
Can you remind me what Yirsala looks like, please?
Yeah, she looks like an ancient woman, very human in essence, but the skin is pulled almost tight against the bones. The eyes are hollow, but for like a bead of green light within. To you, there is a sense that she almost also kind of like, much like you're undead and like borders on undeath itself.
Gives the undead vibe.
Yeah, you saw she wears these tattered clothes that seem to be torn at the edges and even across the chest, and under it you can see the skin is grayish, and also there are scars along the arms. The fingernails are long and jagged. Yeah.
The advice we had gotten for her was that she's lonely, right?
Well,
we were told she
let
was
me
lonely.
confirm with you what you were told, but
And also,
We
a
advise
question.
she is old and tired, dangerous and powerful. Do not anger her and seek to appease her. Find a way to make her happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lonely wasn't a word
But we
that
don't
was
have
used.
any bards.
Yeah, no board. We can attempt a bit of a riff together.
But lonely wasn't the word that was used, but that description that you gave was
That's the vibe I got today.
tired, but not to be trifled with. What did you want to say, Chiara?
Out of curiosity, are the Dana the scars do they look self-inflicted?
No. I'd say without really needing to make a check, you can easily tell that they are... Give me an Arcana check. You know that they're not self-inflicted. That's for sure.
Do they resemble mine?
No, yours are much more intricate. Yours are
Okay.
proper arcane in nature.
Yeah.
No, these are much more primal, I would say.
Let's see.
Got you.
Arcana. Let me just pull up what I need.
Can I do a check to see if she is actually undead and not?
Let's say also give me an
Like-
Arcana check. Yeah.
I mean, the vibe is not. I'll explain once I roll. So.
Yeah, but I'm sure the vibe is gonna be
18
some kind of
total.
intelligence check, so
18 total.
18 total, I'll
10.
10. Alright. Well, what do you want to figure out? I'll start with that then.
It was mainly to check, like, does she just look undead or is she actually undead?
You feel her appearance is real.
Okay.
I'll say to that.
Sure.
I'll say
Sure.
that much.
That's good.
And that jumps off to you, Ostra, where you also are fairly certain that it is real. What with an 18, I'd say you pick up a facet of the Dreamlands itself, and something that's resonating with these scars. They are not physical scars in the sense of they're scars inflicted by a creature, but rather they are scars representing emotional scars.
Okay, so as if
It is the emotions, the memories, the dreams reflecting into the physical, but they are real.
Patterns, basically.
Yes. Whatever she's been through, it seems like she's been through a lot. That's like Ostra. You would pick this up. It's like you can tell that it is no animal, it is no weapon. Your instinct is very aware in these things, even though you don't know where the memory comes from. And then some kind of trickle of information that is almost external to you informs you of this fact. That it's like, these are something deeper. And
Because I forgot, was she friendly when we knocked?
She was a bit apprehensive,
Timid,
but
friendly.
she opened the door very slowly and looked through the slit of the door at first, but then opened it more. She did say very specifically to Solemn that it is important to show hospitality. So perhaps while she might not be friendly per se, she has implied she has gestured friendliness.
She was against as well having my skeletons inside, right?
Yes, she didn't. She said the skeletons have no place in her home, but you are welcome.
Okay.
And they are welcome to stay within her outside.
Sorry, so many questions.
That's
Remind
fine.
me.
Let's know.
The god I follow,
Hayek.
remind Niek?
Hayek.
Aik, sorry. Yeah, Niek is the other one.
Yeah.
Aik. She is the god of what exactly?
She's the. If you want to be positive about it, she's the god of life. If you want to be a little bit more practical about it, she is the god of the persistence of living, which implies both healing, disease, undeath.
Disease, decay. Okay, I found this.
Yeah.
So, for her, me reviving undead, raising undead is considered good or bad?
It is considered good.
By
To
her
her,
teachings.
it is as if you are giving birth. That is the concept that Hayek represents as a religion. Undeath is worshipped as a different form of life, which is why Hayek hates undeath. The god of death hates the undead
Alright, interesting.
as a blasphemy
Okay.
to the natural order.
Yeah.
And equally, healing is seen as evil by the god of death because it's like you're preventing his work.
Fair.
So that's why
Sure.
then Hayek represents healing.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
And you are right now within what once was Hayek's domain.
This
space-
is why I find it a bit strange that the skeletons are not welcome, but
Yeah.
to each her own.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the door open or?
The door is not
Unless
open.
Someone wants to do something.
You may approach the door if you wish. The day before you knocked.
Unless somebody wants to do something else, I will knock.
Does anyone want?
Yirsala, we are ready.
Then you approach. You take the 2 steps onto the patio, and you knock on the door. You're saying Yirsala. You hear a bit of rummaging within the cottage. Eventually, you hear the creaking of wood, steps getting closer and closer, and then she opens the door, fully opening the door, and looks at all of you. Excellent. You seem to have rested well, and nothing has breached the protection, so it is good. You may come in. Come in.
I walk in.
You walk in. The rest of
We all
you?
walk in, yes.
Alright, Ostra
I mean,
walks
I
in.
walk in.
Yep, Ostra walks in. Dylan.
Also,
Alright. You all walk in. And she kind of keeps walking in. As the last of you walks in, the door closes on its own, slowly creaking. And you hear like a locking mechanism.
lovely.
Oh, lovely.
But she walks.
I'll
She walks
thank her
in.
for inviting us in.
She nods, grants a response as she's walking. Tea, hot beverage, food. Turns and looks over, almost like not asking a question properly, but like asking a question. No, fine. And she lets
Thank you all the same.
No, I would have. Did I see any flowers by any chance
you
outside the?
you saw flowers. They were flowers in pots specifically. They seem to be
Any flowers that like grow in cemeteries?
couple. Yeah, I'd say
I would
some.
ask for one of those flowers as a tea. May I have the finest brew of your dead people tea, please?
That. Yes, I'll put a.
Thank you.
And you see her actually. She makes a noise that's almost like a whistle, but it's very high pitched, and a couple of chairs kind of move out and orient themselves around the table. And in the meanwhile, she's walking around and actually walks to like a flower bed that's hanging, and she actually plucks a couple of these like white petaled flowers, and takes them near to this like little kitchen area. It's all one big room, that you are currently in. You can tell that there is a ladder on like the far side of the room, though the cottage from outside didn't seem like it had a second floor. There is a ladder, but yeah, it is one entire room. There are a lot of flowers. It is very. The most prominent thing is flowers. You can tell that there are some other, I'd say, herbal and maybe bordering on the alchemical setups and things, like a little bit of like bottles, but not too many. But mostly it's more like flowers and herbal things like cloths and stuff that are used more like medicinally. I'd say that are around in the room with you. But mainly in the center there is a table, a very simple table, and these wooden chairs pull out on their own and orient themselves as she puts this kettle on and starts a fire, and actually does it very physically, like uses a match and seems to like, and returns to it.
Out of curiosity, are there other flowers that
There
are?
are various flowers.
Yes, but that are available to make tea, because Ostra would like some tea as well, but she doesn't want to be like, she's very much in her training in the mornings behavior, so she doesn't want to ask for things. If it is available, she will maybe ask, but
I mean, you see flowers. She's like taken a couple of leaves, put them into a kettle, and put it on the fire, and currently it's making a tea with flowers. If you're not going to ask, you don't ask. Like, there are flowers, there are other flowers.
Ostra is conflicted, right?
You are allowed to awkwardly shimmy about, kind of looking at the different flowers. And she walks forward. Do any of you sit so far? I don't know if you actually took.
Oh, I do. I'm
Okay.
like at
Okay.
home. I'm like at Granny's house.
Yeah, so here you sit down. It is not the comfiest chair in the world, but it's fine.
I take a moment and then I decide to sit with Senkila at the table.
Okay, you sit down, that's fine. Dylan?
Yeah.
Alright.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
can I get just like a Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, sure.
Is she trying to
Not,
poison us?
I'm not kind of see if there's anything that's kind of out of place,
Sure.
notably interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that one.
I got a natural 20.
Oh.
11.
Oh, lovely.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
All right. Nat 20. We honor
Sorry, plus 9. Plus 9.
last night. Oh,
Plus 9.
oh no.
Oh
This
no.
changes everything.
I
27.
suddenly removes 10 pages of what I was
It's not
about
a
to.
30. So,
True, you didn't hit the impossible DC. That's true. No, but I'll honor the nat 20 on that at least. So, your companions sit, and like just as you're about to sit down, you take a moment to just look around, and initially, it all seems above board. You don't pick up any illusions. You don't pick up anything that seems threatening. No kind of traps laid about, no runes that are like maybe on the edges, like something you might be looking out for. But as you take that moment to like, you pick all of that up and then you like breathe, close your eyes for a second, and as you close your eyes, you are not welcomed by darkness as normally one would when you close your eyes, but rather you see the cottage still in this like more blue fluorescent spectral version for just like a couple of seconds, where you see you kind of understand where the emptiness is coming from as you start to see ghosts move through your companions, move through, out and in through the walls. One passes through you fully, and you see
but not feeling anything.
not feeling anything. All you can feel is the emptiness. That is something that you've been feeling through, and like in this moment, you're like, oh, we are surrounded by spirits, and I'll say you definitely get that. Yeah. Other than that, there is nothing that, and you don't feel like this is something that is threatening. You even see her like she also like spirits do move through her as well. You see a lot surrounding her, like in the area, just not talking or saying anything, but just like being in the vicinity where she is. You can see some that are gathered around where the flowers are that seem to stay stationary. Yeah, and that like lasts for a second, and then you open your eyes again into this more like real world version, and you're like, whoa, okay. Yeah.
Is it kind of like when you see something really bright and you close your eyes and it's there for a bit?
Yeah. That's a good way to express it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take a seat.
And you sit, and it is a bit hard to unsee what you've seen now, kind of like
Yeah.
a little bit, but you're well composed enough that it's not like you're freaking
Like,
out.
huh,
But
there's a lot of specters floating. It's like
yeah.
and not feeling it. I think the thing that gets to Solemn is like, okay, people are passing through me.
Yeah.
Not feeling it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of just like needing to wrap your mind around it. But yeah, lovely. Yirsala walks towards you as the kettle is slowly getting to a boil, and looks at all of you. So,
May I request some tea as well? Ostra cracks finally under the
there
bed.
is enough water for more than 1 cup, more than 3.
Thank you.
There is food. Do you want anything to
No,
eat?
I just needed to drink something.
I can get
Okay,
you water.
thank you.
No, tea, it's fine. I apologize.
Then you will have to wait. And she makes another whistling sound, and another chair kind of like moves from like a corner and comes to like she just starts sitting down before the chair is there, and then the chair just slides in and sits down.
Curious, is this a language or is it just like sounds?
It is sounds. You would
Okay.
say, I'd say with like your innate capacity of like magic and how skilled you are in the arcane, this is some kind of level of of verbal spellcasting that's ancient. But it's like, it's not really like casting a spell, but more like enacting a facet of a spell.
Like
that's
enacting
of-
cantrips and
Yeah.
actions of spells.
Yeah, that's the vibe it gives.
Cool.
There is some kind of magic, but it's so old, it feels that like
That have
very...
been like custom made into
yeah,
her
yeah.
vibe. Okay.
In my head, I don't know how obvious it would be to a stranger, but I think that Zenkila and Selene would understand quite clearly that Stray's thinking in her own head. I wonder how many attempts it took her to actually get the timing exactly correct.
Yes, there have been many attempts where she's come too fast. But no, she sits perfectly. And even the wood itself cracks a little bit in order to like adjust to her positioning. And it has armrests, and she kind of rests down on it. The fingernails kind of scratching at the underside of the
Sorry,
the
I'm gonna
armrest.
come.
Yeah, go.
Alright,
Yes,
cool.
go. Do your thing. But she sits before you. If you wish to think about what you want to say, you can go for it. If there are other checks you want to do, more than happy to take those on. Otherwise,
That's on mine.
all right. Okay, good. Let me confirm that the stream is going okay. The stream is going okay. It exists. Yes. Trying to think if there's anything else you guys might pick up, but in the moment, yeah. Yeah.
I
Yes.
I take in the smells of the room. I want to try and take in the scents of the room.
You do get this like mix of aromas. It's very like when it's not heavy, like if you're not paying attention to it, there's like other feelings that are kind of overwhelming the senses, and the emptiness kind of like blots out a lot of the more physical senses. But when you focus, you do pick up there's like a very odd mix, almost finds a little bit assaulting, I guess, on the nostrils. A lot of different flowers, some that you would almost instinctively pick up are more akin to desert and more akin to like these very dry places and flowers that can persist even with that. You note more humid that just like you're picking up that almost like smell of rain in the area, but it's mixing in with other things. I'd say it's not pleasant.
You said that some scents are deserty in vibe.
Yes. You like those. Your eye catches them as like, oh, those are flowers and plants that are more akin to desert biomes, or at least near desert.
Is there like a muscle memory or anything that may trigger a spark of recognition?
That's what this note is coming from, kind of. It's like literally you have no memory, but for some reason it's like you clock them. It's like, oh yeah, those are more like desert-based plants. Not sure where that comes from, but
Interesting.
yeah.
A stray torn between interesting and strong smell.
Yes,
Too
there
strong
is.
smell.
The second you like pay attention to it, it is a very strong smell. Yes. Are you good, Adam?
Yeah.
Alright. Now I will continue from Dana. You've basically all sat down in this moment. The tea is getting ready. She has nestled herself into this other chair, looks at all of you, and just starts. So, you came searching for me. I assume you want something.
We were told by mutual friends that you had a spell or something that could help us evade the eye of certain other people that we don't want on our tail.
Mutual friends. I don't have friends, dear.
Ustra
Acquaintance,
realizes
perhaps.
the error and
I'll show her my dagger that Hai gave me.
I know who you serve. Yes, acquaintances perhaps is a better word.
apologies, I shouldn't have presumed.
It is fine. Yes, I know who you serve. I know what you seek. This can be done. I can do this. It is, in fact, what keeps me safe here. But things are not done for free in the Dreamlands. What do you think you have to offer? And she kind of puts her hands together, the fingernails kind of clicking against each other, and just and there's a little bit of a smile, not like a big grin, but just a bit of like the edges of her mouth. Just, what do you think you can offer me?
Out of curiosity, so Selen's favorite creatures are humanoids. Does this person come off as humanoid, or is
I
or are
would
they
say no. I would say no. As much as they
Okay.
look humanoid and they
Yeah.
present like they wouldn't be classified as such. You even like from what Azad said, this is essentially almost equivalent to like a minor deity, and these entities that have gone beyond just being mortal dreams like yourselves, who are humanoids.
Yeah.
This is like she might have once been humanoid, essentially.
Yeah.
Like that's, I would say that's like considering it's your favorite enemy. Like for all intents and purposes, she looks like she should be, but like you're not getting. There's something more to her that you're aware of enough to be wary of.
Yeah. I'll wait to see if anyone else says
Okay.
something.
She kind of
A cost.
looks at all of you individually, kind of like, yes, a cost. Looks at you, Zinkala.
So, what do you want?
I was curious to see what you thought you had to offer.
Well, I
Ustra instinctively
have
clutches her pendant in her hand.
some
To
ink.
hide it.
Okay.
I have a little bag of sand. I have a small knife. I have a sheet of parchment. A crowbar.
You see an eyebrow raise. She's looking at you, Zinkala, but speaks, directing to Ostra. I don't want your treatments. That is alright. I know you are new to these parts. I can smell it off of you. I normally trade in memories and dreams. But I see you are lacking in that department, and I will not rob you of what little you have. Otherwise, you will not. What good would a recurring customer be without coin? At least I'd like to think that we can have such an arrangement.
What if... Would you be in need of favors?
Favors are always helpful, and I like that. We can work with favors, especially from you, Dreamwalker. Primarily that you don't lead anyone here, and looks at you a little bit. That is very important to me.
We could, I guess, settle, kind of look to the others as well. Either each of us can owe you a favor, or I can do a prolonged, continuous favor, as long as I live and breathe.
Laughs at that final remark. Yes, yes. How about this? There are ingredients, I shall say, that I do not yet possess to make what you require. But you can acquire them for me. Should you accomplish this, then it means that you are capable of conducting tasks and favors that I may need in the future. I will not take your memories, but I do need memories for this particular working. But I know where you can find some.
Ooh, are we gonna be stealing memories? Sounds like fun.
I'd say borrowing is the better term in this particular scenario. But yes. Is this acceptable?
I look towards the others, kind of.
Or we'll have anywhere else to go, so might as well.
Yes.
That is very true. And you hear, as she says that, you hear the kettle start to whistle as it boils. He gets up, brings over the tea. Right now, I guess 4 cups, because Solemn hasn't asked for tea. These 4 cups drift slowly from different cupboards and land onto the table. She holds the kettle in her hand and brings it forward and pours into each one. And this the scent is it's not as potent. It's very, I'd say it's a little bit dank. As far as like, it feels like it's something that is taken from the soil directly. Like it feels like you're drinking in, very earthy. That's, and it is poured before Ostre, before Zenkila, and one for herself.
Who was this flower grown on then? I enjoy the details of what I drink.
As much as I appreciate that, it is... secrecy is important, and there is power in names and in such
Understandable.
things. But I appreciate...
I'm a collector myself, I understand.
That is good. In fact, I will need you to collect. Very particular thing. So, we have a deal then. And she reaches out a hand. Like, not like a handshake, but more of like an open palm. And you feel a kind of like whiff of power flow through the air in that moment as she asks the question.
Does this feel like a curse by any chance?
Give me an Arcana check. Anyone can give me an Arcana check. I will also allow an Insight check.
Damn, man, that's so shit.
You said Arcana or
Go for an
Insight?
insight check.
Yeah, Arcana or Insight.
Do I get advantage since I have the ability to give curses and remove curses?
No. No.
Damn it. 11.
11. Okay.
Do I get some
There's
sort of
20.
bonus because I have alert?
Nope.
They always tries.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay.
Hey, mine was a close attempt though. I saw the
No, yours
brain thing.
yours was a lot more like a valid question, I would say. So 15 from you, Ostra.
Yes.
Okay, 15 is not bad. Okay. So for you, Zenkela, you definitely detect power. What you struggle with is that much like the whistling, which the sound, which was very like this ancient thing, this power also felt ancient, and it is a bit beyond the typical arcana. Arcana's built a lot around like the study of things that exists. This, the best I would say, I'd still give you this, is that this feels like the power of the Dreamlands, which is beyond just like Arcana and runes and study. With a 15, you're going with Arcana or Insight, Ostra?
I went with Insight.
Insight. So with Insight, you definitely feel a powerful intent in what is done. It's hard to tell like what it means like intricately, but there is an intent and an implication. You're just not sure what those intent and implication are. With a dirty 20 added to Ostra, you do pick up a little bit on the implication, the words used by her, the body language itself. Something kicks in from like perhaps what little that memory you regained had within it. Something maybe that your body is instinctive to go to. But you know that deals hold great power in the Dreamlands. And at least the implication is that whatever you agree to requires follow through.
Is this one favor you're asking of us, or multiple favors?
I will ask a favor of you all as a group, and perhaps more things come up that you might require from me. Then we can continue and barter in such a way.
Fair enough.
But I do require you to gather the ingredients before I make the incantation.
I respect a businesswoman.
Indeed, that
And
is...
regarding the memory he acquired, is this specific to the individual or
I will
at our discretion?
I will direct you as to where you need to go, and I will explain to you what it implies, but I assure you, they are not memories that are intended for you. You will not be forced to choose, I will say, on that front. But they are specific, and I will tell you exactly what I want. There will be something asked that is specific of you, but it is not memory. It is something that you do have an abundance of, but something that I only need in specific scenarios.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah, sure.
Takeda put her hands up, like, sign me up.
Okay. You
17.
gesture. With a 17, you feel she's being vague. Perhaps not sure. Like, there is a vagueness that you pick up, and it is intentional. Perhaps she worries that but there is a worry that perhaps if you know exactly what is required, you might say no. I'll say with the 17 you get that. But her fear is, it's less of a fear on that, but more of like, she is unsure how, like, where you stand ethically, I guess. So, like, she's bargaining in the concept of, like, I don't want to put you off and I want to make the deal first. Very...
Yeah.
But there is no blatant lie. Especially, like, at the end part where
Or
she does.
intent.
No. There is no ulterior motive other than, like...
Yep.
It is simply in the grounds of concern that you might not want to follow through.
Yeah.
No, that's...
I will extend my hand and like
You extend.
pinky out.
Okay, you do pinky out. Austin?
I also.
Okay. And you feel that same effect of power wash over each of you. There is no visible thing that you see, but you do feel it. There is I would almost call it a sudden lack of emptiness, as it is like a filling, like some like power fills in and then immediately dissipates. And she retracts her hand, steps on her tea. Excellent. So, what I require is mantles, and particular ones. Mantles referring to a thing that you wear on your shoulder. The kind of like half cloak, I guess. I know a couple of rowdy youngsters who live nearby. They...
These Gen X.
They are... well... rowdy and obnoxious. And they particularly enjoy collecting memories. Much people like yourselves, perhaps less on a path, but rather simple lost mortal dreams, who might stumble upon their neck the swamp, might not make it out home. Which
Doesn't sound very nice.
indeed, and I do not enjoy when thievery occurs in my neighborhood. It sets a bad precedent. This also means that they have ample memories to spare. I require 3 mantles. They wear them. They are not keen on releasing them and giving them up. It is up to you how you decide to go about it. Diplomacy, aggression, sneakery. It is your call, but I require these. Once you are done with that, you may return, and I will tell you the other ingredients that I will require, which will be closer at hand. Is this acceptable? Do you have any further questions?
Lead the way.
Good. She looks at you, Solemn, and points a finger like in your direction, and before like you even have time to react, you are filled with a sense and a vision of this swamp, and a path builds in your mind. And in this, you see like similar to the Whispering Wood, you have to go through like trees, but it is very damp. You can tell that a lot of the roots sprout out from water, and it like just kind of beelines you, almost zooming through like a path, and then coming into this clearing, this almost like small, not big enough to be a lake, but a small clearing covered in water with a large tree in the middle. And then you are back in the cottage, and in your mind you have a path.
I love how Solemn is basically Google Maps
And you are
or a sat nav.
Basically.
Wow.
For these
Wow.
areas, I am.
yeah, indeed. I mean, hey,
Take me somewhere else. I'd probably be like,
Brother.
yeah. The second you wake up, I mean, what? Yes, you are the path. You are the path walker. You are the dream walker. You get to walk the dreams.
Don't you mean the pathfinder?
Hey, nice.
Differences. Yes, but you have a destination, and you know how to get there. Which to you that means it is a breeze. Let me confirm. Yes, and she just says the Solemn Bog. That is where you will find them. And
Any advice on what these youngsters maybe are? Heads up.
they are nereids. They are creatures
Nereids.
of water, perhaps because in their waking forms they were loose and as flexible as water itself, and thus they become so here. They are dangerous. They do not play fair, so do not expect honorable interaction.
Okay.
I know of. I remember there being 6 of them. That I know.
Okay.
and you require 3.
I require 3.
What is the process of taking a memory, stealing a memory?
Well, in
Is
this
it
case,
debt or
it is simple. They wear them as a mantle.
no? I'm saying how did they steal them?
Oh, each creature does it differently. Death is a means. The art of taking a memory is strange. I know of the means that is done with consent. These creatures perhaps have found a way to do it without such things. I would assume death, or more likely direct consumption, might be.
Got you. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
Make haste. I assume you want to be rid of whatever eyes are upon you.
That does sound nice.
Frankly, I would like.
Goddamn privacy.
Yes, indeed.
What? Come on, GPS. Let's go.
Doesn't know what the GPS means.
I
Lead the way. Global something station. I think
positioning system.
that's it. Thank you.
The door, you hear it unclick. It opens on its own. And she sits back, sips more of her tea.
Well, it was a lovely chat.
Nice.
I will come back later for
Yeah, I stand
more.
up.
Yes, the tea will remain as warm as you left it.
Lovely. I love some good hospitality. Well, off we go. Austria, coming.
Yes, yes.
She gestures with her hand, and you feel a kind of. Actually, I'd say you, Silen, don't have to do this, but the rest of you give me a perception check.
Oh, that's so
Since you already got the max perception check.
14.
14? Okay, 14.
14.
Oof. Which one did you say? Perception.
14.
Slightly less oof, but not by much. 6 total.
Okay, 6.
I have a +4.
Nothing really registers.
I have a +4. Just as an FYI.
Okay, that's with a 14, and this you pick up as well, Silen. You feel a bit of a lurch through the cottage that is kind of asking you to leave. You don't feel that it's coming from her directly, but it is like in response to her
Like the
being
cottage
like,
wants us out.
yes, there is, and that is what you pick up, and what you, Silen, specifically pick up in tandem with like your prior perception check and this moment. You're now picking up that, or rather, like you're maybe like connecting some kind of missing dot. The cottage has its own intent. The chairs being brought out, the whistling. I'd say like tandeming this with your nat 20 from prior, you're getting the vibe that it's like, it almost feels like the cottage is a pet. Sort. And the pet has realized that its master has asked these foreigners to leave. Thus it echoes the intent. Yeah. And the door is open, you may walk out, and essentially you can begin leading the party into what Yirsala has called the Solemn Bog.
Lovely. I was
there-
really hoping for like some actual like herbal ingredients of that sort. It's like, I can get double of those.
Ah, I see.
The
Sadly,
next ones.
no. I mean, you can always forage on your own initiative.
Yeah.
That's
Selen has nothing currently that they are interested in attempting to forage, unless
Fair.
anyone else will ask Selen for help.
there is always
They
Don't really need anything much, to be fair.
you like just as something to consider that all of you would kind of know just on the basis of like D&D wise. Herbalism is a thing. I don't know if any of you have herbalism as a skill, as like a tool proficiency, herbalism kit. But it's always something that can be experimented with if any of you feel like that jives with your characters.
No need for anything for now. I'll grab my children, be like, come on, my pretties, follow me.
They lumber over, move around you, as they are wont to do. And unless anyone else wants to do anything,
No, we're going.
then Silen, you may begin to move the party. And slowly, you start leaving from the space where you now know to be infested with spirits that have lingered here. And as you leave the circle, you feel a sudden like influx of the emotions that you're normally used to. The usual things, but just feeling such a lack of them for such a long, extended period of time, it just feels a bit overwhelming for a fraction of a second. And then you start to walk. As you do so, you do see the night change to day as you leave whatever century.
Is it instant or
It's not instant. It's much like it's speed. It's like a sped up.
sped up? Okay.
It's like the moon moves across the sky quickly, replaced by the sun, as the darkness of the sky is replaced by the bright blue. Yeah, and you begin to move, getting onto these grassy plains, and very quickly it shifts. As you start taking a step, you feel a swoosh, and another as you start to walk in literal like ankle. But yeah, at this point, like it's just like ankle deep water. There are various trees that are all like the roots of them are jutting out. Like there is no soil, but rather it is just like the water. The roots go deep under the water, and the water itself is very murky and green. And
Very swampy.
it is literally. It is a bog. It is a swamp. It is properly a swamp. And you move through. Seeing the path in your mind, you start to slowly move. And I would like all of you to give me a perception check. And
I would also like to do my ranger thing of while tracking other creatures. You also learn their exact number, size, and how long they
19.
pass through the area.
ooh, nice. Okay. So that's good to know. 19 on you, Donna. In this case,
23.
23. Okay. And Zengala?
Natural 24, 25.
Ooh, nice. I would say, combined with like the nat 20 and then also the ranger abilities, you do notice not tracks like in the ground, obviously, because there is no ground properly to track through, but rather you do see signs of people having walked through, though they are very, I'd say you know that they are old, even though that time doesn't seem to deteriorate them. This is more like simply nat 20, like you're peeling through the veil that is like the effect of the Dreamlands and kind of seeing the reality underneath it. So you can tell that there has been movement. You are certain that some of these are clearly marks of people getting in conflict and fighting off something, and having a couple of misses against the trees and stuff of that nature. You can tell that parts of the trees have been hit with what seems like almost acid, as if it's like chunks of them are missing, as if they were corroded away and eaten into, but not bitten. So your minds would think acid.
Are there any like traces of the acid left by any chance, or
Mm,
can I check? Actually, the question would be: can I check if this is arcane in nature or physical?
it is some mix of both. I'd say it is not something made through like a direct spell casting, but rather probably something innate that has magical properties.
Okay.
Akin, what I would say, like on D&D terms, akin to like a dragon's breath.
Yeah. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah. But yes, you get that. You got an 18, right, Ostra?
Yes.
So yeah, in tandem with that,
No, a 19.
a 19. You can clearly see the trail, and you, on your end, Ostra, for the most part, you do get these signs of like scuffle. So that is something you do get. I'd say, on your side, on the ranger abilities, Silen, you
I see
are
the size as well, no, from your ranger thing.
you are more certain now that what you are looking for is not humanoid, because you are fairly certain, you are like made certain with the help of Senkela as well, that whatever it is, whatever caused that corrosiveness, that is the thing that you are hunting, which is outside the realm of human. You're more telling you notice the tracks of humanoids, which were probably their prey. And last thing I'll say, you, Zenkela, with that nat 20, out of the corner of your eye, like within the water, you see like a shadow dart forward under the water, move through, almost like a big fish, kind of fly off like through the water and away in the general direction that you're headed.
I will tell Solemn, there's something in the waters. I have a feeling this is what we're looking for. Shall we head towards this direction it went to, or do you have a better path in mind?
Is the path and with the indication of Zenkela, is it the same path that we were gonna take anyways?
It is a similar path, as in like you'd be not exactly, I'd say like you're not following in exactly the tail of this thing, but it's in the same direction. If you want to, you can try to like find an alternate route that may lead to the same endpoint, but taking a different route. It's your call. It might require. It requires.
The Solemn's path finding, is that like it doesn't use paths and roads, or is it just a kind of winding magical way there?
It's more of a magical thing because distance and time work so fluidly in the Dreamlands that it is
like
not.
When we go to the swamp, it's just like we're going through wild. It's not like there's a path.
No, there isn't like an actual path. No, you're walking through water. It doesn't feel like it is only a path because Solemn can see it.
Mind.
It is.
Okay.
There is no clear, like there is water. I'd say there are some like what you might call a path of water, but to get to where you're going, you're having to like at times cross over the roots of a tree and kind of deviate from what might be a natural path. Yeah. In this moment,
any preparations we can do beforehand, or?
I'd say reliably, if you follow the path, I'd say you have around like, because you also with ranger stuff, you actually ignore difficult terrain when you're traveling, or am I thinking of something different?
I believe so. I think if you're proficient with the environment, but you need swamp. I think you need swamp.
It says, but it's for me. So it says you ignore difficult terrain.
Oh, okay. It's not for the whole.
I think it's only for the party. It's your favorite.
Okay. No. So I'm using the revised ranger, not the vanilla ranger. So for the revised, it's also difficult terrain doesn't slow your group level.
Okay.
Nice.
So basically,
I don't know how you'll do it for like combat, so to speak.
I think. Let me check, because I thought that's for traveling. I thought that was more related to that.
It might be for traveling because like you're telling everyone where to go and where to pass.
That's what I thought.
Because the natural explorer is you ignore difficult terrain, other things, and then in addition you are skilled at navigating the wilderness. You gain the following benefits when traveling for an hour or more. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means.
Oh god. And, I just realized something very bad for myself.
Oh no.
5e Tools has updated to 2024 rules.
No.
No.
Only though isn't there
I'm trying to find them, but I just now realized I'm looking at the ranger.
I am following this. Let me send it to you.
If you have
Wikidot. Let me send it to you.
I need to take a quick break and then need to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Go use the bathroom for sure. I'll try and
message. I have sent you a message.
Okay, thank you. Me basic rules. Okay, so I can do that. Yeah, but that just takes them off. Well,
If you want, I
message?
sent you the link that I was following.
You sent it on Discord? Yes, there it is.
Yes.
Okay. Checks for you have advantage or for some in addition, you can when traveling for an hour or more. Yeah. So in combat, I won't apply that. Like I said, you'll have to.
It makes sense.
But like right now, as you're traveling, as it states, when traveling for an hour or more, which is kind
I
of
think
like,
the vibe is that you're actively telling people where to step and where to
So with that in
Then
mind,
the other one is for just me.
as that. The first three, those yes, and those obviously apply in combat. As that, so you personally ignore difficult terrain. Personally, that you're fine.
Okay.
It's good to know because
Except on this log, jump on this rock.
Yeah. So you would know that roughly it will take you at most, like if you take it slowly, 10 minutes. So if there's anything you want to do prior,
Slowly, i.e. stealthily.
if you want, yeah, I'll say you can manage it 10 minutes and actually doing it stealthily.
Okay.
Do we roll for stealth or
Yes, if you are about to go into stealth mode,
do I need to roll for my skeleton
I would-
as well?
I
one
would
roll.
recommend.
I think as in
You'd
I
recommend.
I assume I'd recommend doing it stealthily.
I see.
Glenn also recommends doing it stealthily.
Yes. Just do a roll for yourself, Zenkela, and a roll for all skeletons.
So it's a 6 for me.
Oof. Okay.
30 for me.
30.
For the skeletons, it's a natural 20.
Okay.
So for a 22.
I will. Okay. So we'll see.
And for the zombie, it's 15.
Oh no, the zombie can be together with the skeleton.
Okay.
No, the undead are together. So we'll see because Kiara needs to use bathroom really quick. But that net 20 and a 30 from Solemn will help. Will help the
19
6
plus 11.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that will help with the 6. This depends if Ostra also rolls bad or good, or like average will be.
So if I can prepare something, I don't really.
But see if there's any spells you want to get up beforehand. You have 10 minutes essentially for whatever like spells in their durations and whatnot.
At most, if I see that we might.
Ooh.
Nah, fuck it. I'll play it safe. I'll cast. Pass without trace.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it. Like,
Nice.
Yeah, you bump up already.
So that's a 16 for me and a 32 for the skeletons.
Yeah.
It's a 40 for me.
40, yeah. No, you're fine.
Can I do something?
No one can see me.
Truly.
Wait, we're traveling.
Yeah, literally. Like, our guide
And
is
all of a sudden
gone.
you just hear a voice. It's like this way.
Watch out. DM.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Yes. I do like.
Can I use Nistel's magic aura
Mm-hmm.
to make a little bag of sand, which I have in my legacy adventuring gear, to appear as a memory, to have the aura of a memory?
I'll say give me an Arcana check, but I love the idea, so give me an Arcana check.
Please don't fuck me. Oh, my card has been so bad. Oh, that's cocked. That's worse.
Yeah. What's the?
Do you want any assistance with your Arcana, or is
Can
it exclusively?
I don't think. Can I use my snake?
I'd say for this, no.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'd
'Cause
say
I have proficiency in Arcana, but I don't know if it's like
you have if you have
he's doing it on
proficiency.
his own thing.
If you have proficiency in Arcana and you're allowing other people to know what you're going to do,
Yeah, I mean, I would like pull it out and be inspecting it and being like wondering.
then Celine can ask like, if you want me to help, yes, I will allow.
Yes, please.
I will allow. Go for it.
What should be worse?
If you have proficiency, you're definitely like
Better by like
Okay.
2.
Hey,
Hey,
oh,
That's a 15.
15. You. This is prior to casting the spell. I'll say you think about this. You focus on it. You feel like this is possible. You might need a bit more time than you have right now, or you can make it happen, but you'd need to use a higher level spell slot, aka a third level spell slot.
I will use a third level spell slot.
Okay. Essentially, you're effectively doing this over the period of a minute.
I mean, the vibe would be to have like to make it seem like it's a very powerful memory kind of thing. Like I wanted it to be like a concentrated memory. If that makes sense. Obviously I don't know what
Like,
memory is.
you're not sure exactly. I'd say
Yeah.
you remember the feeling and the power you felt when you had a memory, and when you saw your allies gain a memory. You're working off of that, and what little knowledge you've managed to piece through, like from Yirsala saying some stuff, and the sleeping god saying some other stuff. You are unsure what it means to have like a more potent memory, but you do create something that reliably you think someone might mistake for a memory.
Something a wild creature.
A wild creature, like not like even with sentience, like just there is room for them to notice, but they would have to actively like attempt to inspect.
What I will do, would this help? Can I put in like aspects of a memory I have into it?
Yeah, I'd
Like,
say
I
that's in
forget
part
very
what you.
minor details to just like.
I'd say in part that's kind of what you're doing.
Okay.
In order to achieve this, like nothing that like makes you lose anything mechanically in that sense, but essentially
Like the face of some random guy. So
it feels for all intents and purposes like if you're holding it far away, like as long as it's not right in the face of whoever you're trying to bamboozle,
Okay.
you can probably sell it off as a memory.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and
What's
if you want
possible
to.
bargaining chip here.
Yeah, that is the third level, 5 spell points.
Yeah, I already took down.
And you've got that in your inventory. It is a.
I would tell Zenkela to, for the time being, just keep it hidden. Maybe at most we can like try and set up a trap, toss it somewhere. Like get an ambush going.
Yeah, I like that. It's more like as a shit hits the fan, I can pull it out to be like, I can offer you this, for example.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I'd say like physically, it's not something you need to like aggressively hide. It's something that like, if people are more magically inclined, like having a detect magic, you wouldn't really be able to hide it from them because, much like detect magic, they will notice a power source of memory on your person.
I mean, technically they will see illusion.
Technically, Nistul's magic aura explicitly makes it not.
Okay.
Because that's the whole point. Like, Nistul's magic aura creates a fake aura. So it's something that fools detect magic.
Yeah.
So just to bring you up to speed, Ostra, Zenkela, with the aid of Solemn, has created a fake memory in the form of like a bag of sand. You saw them kind of working together at it, and had a little bit of a discussion about like possibly having this as
idea was to have as a bargaining chip
as a last resort
if we need it.
And also a stealth was done as you are 10 minutes away from your destination. So it was decided that you should move stealthily, and Solemn,
without a trace as well.
Yes, has bumped up with a pass without a trace. So when you're ready,
so you have +10 to your roll.
I'm almost ready. I just found a way to revert 5e tools if you want it.
Okay, nice. I'll
It's on the homepage in the there is other
It's
versions.
in the homepage of
In the,
fuck.
in
The
the
fuck?
homepage. So
How
I
do you
got
how do you pronounce that?
where?
Lower.
Foundry.
No.
FAQ.
lower.
FAQ. I see.
The fuck?
Other
it is
versions.
technically fuck.
There it is. Oh wow. No,
Fuck
it's not dark mode. Where is the dark mode?
I don't know how to call it.
Bright light.
Jesus Christ.
Me as an add-on that makes everything dark mode by default.
Why isn't there a... Oh, appearance, night mode.
I'm
Okay.
so glad of dark mode becoming a thing.
Oh, so true. Mela. No. Mela, I wanted classes, please. Thanks. There they are.
Oh,
There they are.
oh basic 5e.
Until I get used to like, I need to look through 2024 and see what's worth keeping. For
And
now,
what fucking sucks.
I've seen so many spells get fucking like
Yeah.
broken and
Apparently they nerfed counter spell.
oh, they nerfed so many things. They nerfed sorcerers.
A lot
They-
of shit.
They nerfed like you can't twin haste anymore. The fuck? The fuck?
Why?
No. Because you can only twin a spell.
They nerfed the ranger again.
Why would you
The
like?
ranger needs
So
the
overpowered.
nerfing.
What do you mean?
I hate.
The most
Mela.
overpowered class.
I hate. Anyway, Ostra. Spell check. You have an extra +10 to whatever you normally add.
Nice.
And you're already working with a overall pretty decent average of a 32,
Okay,
a 40.
Lord. Okay, thank you.
Holy
mine,
shit.
Mine is a lot less impressive. It's a 24.
24. I mean, 24 is still good, even like 40.
No, okay, with the +10 is 34.
Oh,
The-
okay.
I rolled a 16.
Is that like perfect?
I rolled
So,
a 19. Just have like high plus to that, so
without effort,
We are
the
lip into the shadows.
the shadows, the kind of energy from around the space around Solemn, kind of emanating around you guys as well and pulling you into these shadows. You move through the swamp, undeterred by the water in this moment as you make the final leg of the journey. You are a little bit where you're worried perhaps of this, like something has ran from your space and moved away from you, but at least in this moment, probably anyone that you walk up upon, they might not notice you immediately. So you move, and following the path as you were, you eventually start to see the general winding and like mash of trees and roots start to open up into more of a circular space, and you can see this large tree ahead away from you, like across this like pond, and let's say everyone give me another perception check.
Can I use the help action for my snake?
All allowed. Yeah.
25.
Okay, nice.
19.
Thank God
Nice.
for that fucking help action. It was a natural one.
Lord.
18.
18. Okay. So, you all hear ahead of you, probably where you imagine this large tree is, you hear kind of snickering and words, people speaking. You hear these like young voices and kind of let's get my actual notes around.
Any language?
You're picking up like a common,
Common,
like
okay.
you're hearing, you all can understand the words, and you just hear, chase it, no, give me it, stop, no, don't. You're here like, Emily, tell him to stop, tell him. And you hear like a giggling and a snickering. It's mine, stop it, Stop it, Calvin. And you hear this like Donna. You hear like 3 voices distinct. And you pick up that. You, Silen, however, do notice. You notice like something moving within the water. Like ahead of you, you can just see a little bit of like a patch that is a little bit dark that like moves every so often. And you are coming upon this, like you are literally a step away, where at that point it's like you would break cover and they would see you. But in this moment, you are still hidden. What would you like to do?
And this creature appears to be focused on them.
It's moving around, really. It feels like it's the vibe of kind of like a shark in the water, but it's not. It's moving around, so it's not really paying attention to them, because clearly they're making a lot of noise. So, at least in this.
So
case.
could I get the vibe that maybe it's their pet?
Possibly. That's not out of the realm of possibility, I'd say.
Would it be possible to send my skeletons round? Can we like sort of surround them?
I'd
Or
say
is it like an opening?
I'd say it is. There is space where you can like take a little bit more of a open down. I will objectively bring forth. I just need to confirm a thing. Yes, I think it's fine. Man, just want to make sure. Okay. Malach, I will move you here. And you can see the roll 20 now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just so that you have the context in case this shifts into...
I need another zombie.
Yes, right, because at that time you didn't have the zombie. Malach, when I had created a zombie token for you, no?
I guess you can use the one that you used last time.
Exatt. I assumed I did. Exatt. Yep, I just hadn't. Malach-ish, you have Zomber. But yeah, you can start like essentially within this like space where it's not the water, they can be hidden. So if you want them to like move around a bit, this kind of aesthetic, like, but the second, essentially where Selene is kind of the edge of it.
Where is that shadow we're seeing in the water?
I'd say you're seeing it. Do I have the thingy? Mela, you're kind of seeing it move like just outside like your area, and then sometimes it like moves around, kind of like moving here and then moves here and then turns back, and then sometimes it moves this way. Like it's moving around.
Can you give me control of the zombies and I'll put them?
Do I not? Why does this always?
It doesn't
I wish. Yes. I have. So far, given you 1, 2, 3, 4, and yourself just in case, as because it didn't. And checking everyone else, I will do. Save. Bless
you.
Save. Everyone should have control of their respective tokens. And you're seeing those like you can see them like between the roots and the cover of darkness that you have around.
For a moment, it looked like you had abandoned Sombert all alone.
No, I put them next to me.
Yeah, but you can see those 3 like are kind of at times like they move, and then like you see someone like pull at a thing, and they're like kind of squabbling and on, and one of them is like leaning back and sort of looking. I guess that'd be more like this.
You know what I will do is I will have let me confirm. I will have all of my skeletons will have their short bows out.
Okay, they are all
And like
ready.
firing squad vibe.
Yes, they are all taking out their bows.
I'm curious. There are only 3, correct?
Right now.
Yes.
She said there
And
might be
there are
6.
no signs of the other 3.
Right now, no. At least you can't see any X.
I'll be honest, I was never
Yeah.
very good with youngsters, so maybe we just quickly take everything that we need.
I'd say, with your perception checks, then even through like you haven't quite broken the cover that you have yet, but you can tell that like they are very much made of water. Like they look blue and like almost like translucenty, like transparent bluish. And you can see a more darker blue around their necks and like kind of drifts down to like half of their back, which in your mind you believe to be the mantle that was being referred to. You in fact can see like the two that are squabbling, they seem to be kind of like fighting over something that looks like a mantle. But it's like, and you're seeing them fighting, and then I'll say actually like as they're squabbling and you're like arranging yourselves. Let's see who actually done. So you see this one, my thingy. This one actually like pulls and sort of like they break apart, and this one is tossed a little bit into the water. And he starts laughing. Yeah, it's mine. I won it fair and square. And you see it kind of whatever like he was holding, this like also darkish water seems to flow into the mantle. They were fighting
And
over
she said she
something.
needs 3 mantles or 3 memories.
She said 3 mantles.
3 mantles, okay.
Which are also technically memories.
They
Yeah.
probably have multiple memories in them.
Yeah.
I whisper to the others and say, shall we do this forcefully, or shall we try and bait them into some game?
I'm considering the game option, to be honest with you.
'Cause they seem to like a bit of betting or sport of sort.
I'm not sure what kind of game we could do. Whether we have a plan before we bring up.
Yeah.
Something that would ensure
I
our
mean, I'm very
victory.
good at not dying when I'm.
I'm very good at shooting.
No, well, not dying, I guess. I'm very good at not outright dying. I have advantage on death saving throws. I was gonna like try and see how I can make them kill themselves, and we can make a challenge on who can survive the longest. But coming to think of it, that's probably a really
You
shit
mean
idea.
combat? Like you
No,
mean combat?
just like like a bet of who can hold on to life the longest.
So allow yourself to drop to 0 hit points.
Yes, that
And
was.
then,
I was like, that sounds a bit sweet.
and then we'll see.
Yeah, I heard they didn't something. What about like hide and seek?
Hide and seek could be a thing. Like we could do best 2 out of 3.
But how would we get them to drop the?
It'll be like
That's the
hide and seek.
deal.
If
It's like
whoever
if
we
they
find,
whoever is found needs to give up an item.
Of the
So we
seekers.
have your sandbag.
Yeah. Anything you guys can give up that might sound interesting to them.
Have the earrings technically. So the Yeah, have the earrings, the right fashion.
Austria,
I
I think.
I will be like, no, not a chance. In
Well, don't let them find you then.
That's a fair point.
Also,
Rez,
if
I
they do
can
find
try
you,
and
we'll
convince
just kill them, you know. But
also, but
we'll,
you'll
we'll,
be on
we'll
your own.
try to kill them.
The other thing is we could attempt to like an archery game. And you
Well,
can like lend them one of the zombies' short bows. I'm not sure how good you guys are at archery.
no, not good.
no, not my thing.
Not
I mean, I feel that these creatures wouldn't be the best at archery.
probably not.
Not that
I feel
not
like hide and seek would be interesting though.
Yeah.
As you're discussing, I'd say what happens. You do see another kind of shadow on the water move, different from the one that you were seeing before, Solemn, that seems to come from in the forest, in the more like foresty, like the deeper swamp. It shoots towards where they are, and then out of the water, another one similar to them comes out, and it's like, "What are you idiots doing? There are people coming over. Stop yelling! I could hear you from half a mile away. Just cool, okay? Don't fight." And the two of them that were fighting before just sigh. And they're like, "Yes, the seriously, we're trying to do something here," and moves back into the water and kind of drifts in the general space and then moves kind of into the peripheral.
Did this creature seem larger?
A little bit, like not by a lot. It seems just older than them. They all like they're made of water, but they look like children. It's just their legs kind of shift from being legs to being wisps of water when they move around. But otherwise, they look like 13-year-olds, and maybe this one looked more like a 16, 17-year-old. Humanoid, human-esque.
humanoid adjacent.
But made of water, like or that's the purpose. Like the hair look like they have like one of them has more like scraggly hair, the other one has more of like a little bit of a spiky situation. The other one's more like fluid, but they're all like made of water, like different shades of the water, creating the aesthetic they're in. But like two boys and a girl, from what you can see here, and the one who came up seemed to be another like older boy. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say people over. We can always wait a bit and see who these people are before doing anything. Unless they mean us. But how would they know?
I think it's more people.
Yeah.
Different. Maybe.
Give me an insight check. You can all give me an insight check.
Do we think this is important, guys?
What's with me tonight? Holy
Hey, you got some good rolls.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I keep getting.
Oh, okay. That's.
I'm scared. That
Hey, you got a 2 at some point.
You said
That's
inside.
Mine are
inside.
like steadily
19 total.
19 code. 10?
17.
17. The 17 and the 19. You remember seeing, like, Zenkela had noticed it, so you're the first one who kind of like thinks back to this. You saw something move away from you before you went into the step pod. Seemed very similar to how this Zeke drifted off into the water as well.
Okay.
So you are inclined to believe that you are
I
the
tell
people
them that
coming over.
they are expecting.
They just don't know that you're right there, So they're like not sure where you are, but they know that you're coming is the vibe. So,
Okay, so maybe the idea of a game might not be the best move if we're gonna be or outnumbered.
I mean, I feel that probably because this new person we did just like appeared from the water.
Mm.
I feel that regardless here, even if we do start a fight, we're gonna be
Well, yes,
outnumbered and
definitely.
maneuvered.
But I feel like our idea of maybe coercing them into a game where we have the advantage might not be as easy as we may have thought. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
easy
because
to manipulate
probably now
kids, but
we're just not gonna have the advantage because if they all go in the water, we might just not see them at all. Play
yeah,
hide and seek especially.
and it's easy to manipulate kids, but when it comes to more adult beings, it might be more difficult.
I mean, if they're all the same age, like more or less,
That one seemed a
like
bit
act
older.
of the same age.
I'd say it wasn't
But-
like massively buff. Like it's not like you see, but a little bit bigger. There might be some
Yeah,
power
but
difference.
obviously
Yeah.
the way that he arrived obviously showed that he had some level of
There was
like,
definitely authority. I'll say
guardian
that.
as that authority guardian.
Yeah.
Hmm. I still feel that we could attempt something like more.
Yeah, possibly.
If we think of a better um, activity, otherwise we can just ambush from here.
Thing is that if we do
We will
the
still be
activity, we're
outnumbered. I feel.
yeah, but we're also currently we lose the element of surprise.
And also,
Yeah.
they are children.
No, that's okay.
I mean, it's debatable.
You
I'm sure it will be controversial in the
They
whole.
look like children. I feel.
They also
Um,
steal people's memories without remorse. So I don't know. Not the kind of kids I'm used to. Well, I don't remember actually, but I'm sure they were different.
if you had to statistically bet, you would think they would have been different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you are picking up that is like perhaps what from your Solemn where Yirsala might have been concerned about your ethics. Like this whole
Okay,
point
okay.
of being like,
Okay.
but they're kids, we shouldn't like attack them. And that's why she was being as perhaps as vague as she was before the deal was made.
She definitely doesn't know Zankilla then. There's no remorse. Whatever age.
The other option is one of us break out from my stealth radiance
Okay, and we
and attempts a deal of sorts. If it goes wrong, we will still have the element of surprise.
that's not bad. Who has high charisma?
Everyone
on the
looks
meta.
at Ostra.
Who is good at speaking? Who's good at public speaking?
Everyone looks at Solemn.
I am not good at public speaking, so
That's what it is.
Hey,
There's-
I got you guys this far.
oh yeah,
That is my.
you are the
face.
Dreamwalker after all.
Yeah, I'd say no one's like put forward the diplomacy as much yet, as opposed to just like
Yeah.
you are all amenable people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you have spoken to people who are in alignment with you guys, like the captain and
You know,
and the Azad.
we also have a Dreamwalker with us.
Yeah, that always seems to carry some standing.
Yeah.
At least so far with the adults.
You seem to be of highest rank.
Somewhat, but like
Can I assume that if they are kids, they'll not really like someone with authority? Maybe someone
Yes.
cooler.
I'd
like
say
zombie reviving
Selene,
person.
something like gnaws at the back of your mind. It's less about something about like them being kids is a factor, but it's also like this is rebelliousness and rowdiness is something that you are like familiar with in a very like disjointed way, and
I
you're
was once rebellious and rowdy.
Hey kids, do you like violence?
It's like the fey touch that you have, the natural feyness that you embody as being just of elven descent.
Yeah.
And
I feel like the DM is hinting towards Selene and not the zombie woman.
oh no, I don't know. No, I'm just
Or the
answering Nathan's question of they don't like authority. They don't like authority. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Question,
I'm more hinting of like it's not just because of their kids, it's because probably they're more like fey-ish at this point
Yeah.
than anything
You
else.
can relate more.
Yeah.
I kind of, I'll nudge Zenkel and be like, you probably come off cool with the
question.
showing some zombie skeletons and stuff.
I mean, I appreciate the compliment of my art. Maybe. I know kids these
Question.
days, they love a little bit of zombification here and there, some decay and sickness. But I feel like you are of the place, you are of the people. I feel like a community man would be more interested.
I don't think these people care about the community, man.
Nobody wants to do it.
Austria, you're cute, you're like a bunny. Kids love bunnies.
It's not that I don't want to do it. I just feel that Selene is genuinely, as soon as that they actually might have heard of, they're gonna like actually try and instantly
Fuck.
provoke, and then Selene being the stealthiest might not be the smartest. Like immediately put in the
you're a bunny.
I was thinking, do they count as humanoids or do they count as monsters?
Probably not.
No, they're not.
Probably they're not.
Because I have charm person.
No, you'd need a lot more than charm person.
Yeah, but there's
This
case. I vote Austria goes. All my skeletons put up their hands as well. See,
Damn.
majority win.
Instantly
Immediately.
It's
You know, but you're cute, you're adorable, you're great with
I am a soldier.
yourself, as
I
we
am
saw.
not. I am a soldier. I am not accustomed to children.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to go, am I?
Listen, the options are: if we don't do this, we're gonna fire from here straight away.
Okay, I'll do it.
I can
try.
I can try.
Okay. Pep talk me. I'll talk to my skeleton. Pep talk me. Come on, it's like, come on, wait.
They
Let's go.
slowly, like the zombie, like looming over you like an extra foot, just kind of holds your shoulders down. The breath comes off onto you, just like.
I love it. Thank you. I'll pop out mage armor as well while I'm here.
Yeah, pops up. I'll allow that. You have a 40th person leading. I'll allow a couple options.
I don't have social skills. I have nature perception, stealth, history, and investigation. I do not have people skills.
Wow, you're actually like you have charisma as your highest stat, and you didn't take a proficiency in one of the charisma skills. I'm impressed.
Because she's a soldier. She's
Yeah.
a person.
I thought you might have had like something like intimidation.
Okay, so...
No, she's the strong, silent bodyguard.
see,
She
I
doesn't communicate.
Sure.
Okay,
Unless
you
she's
can-
drunk.
There's literally intimidating presence.
Yeah.
Like you can be
Don't
like,
worry.
"Oh,
The fragile wizard will go out in front of the bad ones.
Christ.
All your
God.
skeletons believe in you.
you have my bow.
I can tell you that much. Every undead.
I
believes
walk
it.
out.
You step out, and as you
Hello. Good evening.
as
Morning.
it's about the
afternoon.
there's a sudden like shift in their demeanor as they turn, the three of them out there to look in your direction, and they all like they were mumbling a little bit, like talking under their breaths, just because like they were sort of told off, and they were kind of like muttering, and then they stop and look.
Hello, children. I seem to be lost. Happen to know the nearest town where I can find it. Also, do you like cool stuff? Watch this. I'll dip my hands in the water and like the water will get a little bit chilly around. Like chill touch the water.
Okay.
Like, look, it's a snowflake. It's a ice.
They look.
I love this.
My charisma
So
of
much.
13 is showing.
Give me a. I'll say like like you can do performance or persuasion. I don't know if it makes any difference.
Probably not. They're both
Rolls
plus
a
1.
nat 20.
12.
A 12. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So
All that magic.
Rolled 19 on
the
these
two boys that were fighting look and like their demeanor shifts a little bit and is like, oh, cool stuff. Oh, okay. And they're kind of looking, and then the girl who's like standing up to like the other side a little bit and is leaned back is like and tosses a little bit of a down, and then you see a jet of water sprout out like 10 feet away from you, and you see her like twist her hand like in the air as it like the water spins in like a little bit of a tornado and then splooshes back down. That's cool stuff.
That's very cool. I have a pet snake. I pull out Zengus. What's his name?
This is gonna be
Zestus.
the girl is immediately like, you can tell that she is hiding how fascinated she is by this thing.
You wanna pet him? It's very friendly.
She looks and then kind of gets up a little bit and she walks into the water, her legs turning into water, and you can see like essentially half her body is now only perceivable as the other half is just merged with the water, and moves towards you very slowly. The other two are kind of like looking, but they haven't moved and they're just actually like pulling back a little bit. And
Just to see seeing this uncomfortableness,
So,
I'll put the
moved, like,
snake on the water to actually go
Okay.
towards her.
gets on the water, then she's like, when it gets to here, there's the snake in between you, and pokes it on the head.
I'm imagining the snake with a little lifesaver.
It has a muscle. It just has one tiny kid's muscle. That's okay, fine, that's pretty cool. And then she like pulls back.
I'll bring him back.
So you're looking for the nearest town?
Yeah, I got lost.
That's a
Kind of hard to
shame.
navigate.
Yeah, it is very hard, isn't it? Yeah. We kind of got lost too, but we found it very nice here, so we stayed.
Oh, I like your designer shirts.
You mean?
Designer mantles.
Oh, these.
They
Yes.
really match with your eyes.
Thanks. Yeah, we made them ourselves.
Oh, craftsman.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Can I get a look?
No, they're ours. This one's
Fair
mine.
DM,
Mhm,
whilst this is happening,
mhm.
can I are the zombies and everyone else like, even without the pass without trace, they be sufficiently hidden?
Actually, yes, because considering like
You're
it would
not
be
natural 20,
24, like nat 20. Yeah. Decently enough, you'd think.
Selene and I'll inform Ostre. I would like to make my way so like find them if I can, or at least closer to them.
Closer to them. The most I'd say
Like without like actively
yeah.
going into the water.
The most I think you can get to is getting to this little tiny patch here. Just I'm moving you just to get context. Like here is the closest you'd be in the concept of like being range-wise close without breaking cover.
Yeah.
Without reliably.
Can he get to the very top, maybe, up here?
You can, but it'd be just as far away as he is now. That's why I don't know like how close you want to be.
I'm thinking maybe he can get like line of sight and still shoot kind of vibe.
You'd have
I think here, here or like maybe back here if there's.
Am I missing your pings? Because I can't.
Yeah,
No. I'd say you can.
There,
yeah.
Or here.
I'd say just
wherever I can
here,
get like cover.
Here you'd kind of lose line of sight on them because the tree is pretty big. The tree there, this tree that's here, like you'd lose line of sight of these two essentially.
Over here, you're saying?
Not here. Over here. Here you'd be fine.
Moving up.
Here you'd be fine. This area. Here
I think there, where it is right now, as in where she's pointing now, is a good spot, honestly. If you're looking for line of sight.
Can I do a religion or survival or arcana check? If creatures within this area, they might be afraid of something, of another creature, or like superstition or something of the sort.
I'd say, let's give me a religion or history. Yeah, like from your, you can maybe, it would be, religion or history.
Both of them.
Okay.
So this is a stretch. Let's go with the dice stack. Let's give me a good roll before. 10. Sorry, 11.
11.
Nice.
The most you can bet is that maybe Yirsala might be like threatening. And you might think that someone like Hayik, because it's her domain, might be some like important like imposing presence, or Malik just because they're like the head of the head. But within reason, Yirsala would make more sense because the gods coming for this random area might be a little bit more like something they might think is a ruse. But Yirsala coming over, considering she knows of them, might, like in your mind you'd think like maybe she's come here before as well. So that's
so just to confirm, the person we talked to before coming here, her name is Yirsala.
Yes.
Yeah, not her.
Yep.
Making sure to make like connecting the dots properly. But she didn't seem like she wanted to get involved, correct?
You're not sure whether it's because like she didn't want to, or more like she wants to see whether you're capable.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go back there.
Okay.
So like in that spot, and I'll see, kind of follow the conversation for a little bit more, and see if they might be willing to or not, and then I'll try something.
Okay. In the meanwhile, the kids kind of like
there's
talking
not
to you.
much that I can do other than stay hidden and offer a silent prayer to whoever might be listening.
Sure.
To please don't make me hurt children.
Okay. You do so. You, Zenkel, and meanwhile, the kids are kind of like looking, and The girl is
Wow.
like,
30 بس 2 minutes. Just
Yeah.
2 minutes. Just
That's
ننزل شي حاجة
that's okay.
before we start this. I think it will take a bit. Just a second.
That's okay. You get that. Let me think, is there anything else you need to get covered? Uh-huh. We're gonna do these. Okay. It's actually not very bad. Solemn, you do, just for your context, notice the shadows in the water. You now can clearly follow and track two. One that you've been kind of keeping track of since that individual popped out before and then went back in, and you've been kind of keeping track of that particular shadow. And another one that you're not sure if it's the same one you saw initially on coming here or not, but like you see two, and they are roughly moving very close to where Zenkila is, but not like directly next to, but like moving in the general space. It's very, like, you're noticing it's very hard to notice them. It's only because like you have a very high passive perception, and there was a little bit of like the shadow came too close to the surface kind of vibe.
Okay, so I'll probably do my thing. See what he's gonna do now. And then I'll attempt to do my thing.
Okay.
And if I may,
Yes.
once I do my little prayer, I stop myself in my tracks and I take a moment to think and wonder in my head, why did I do that? Because I'm a soldier. I probably, went to war. Why would I care? Even if they're children.
Give me a religion check. Or I'd say actually you can do like just a straight wisdom check.
Alright, sorry.
That's okay. If wisdom is better for you than religion,
Wisdom. Do I add the modifier or?
you just add the modifier of wisdom with no proficiency, or religion if it's better as a skill check.
They are the same as I think.
Okay, then
18 total.
18 total. You let out that prayer, you think about this moment, and there is like a conflicting sensation that happens, and it's odd. It's reminiscent of something, and it pulls on some missing memory. This like need to put aside like compassion, but also that the compassion is present. It's something that like clicks in your mind, though the memory isn't there for it to click to.
It's so annoying when you have the emotional attachment, but not what gives you the emotional attachment.
That's weird. Yes. Just. So from your perspective, Zenkila, nothing has changed. So that's even perfect as it is. The kids are there. The girl is kind of like has pulled back now after the snake. You've also pulled back, and they're just like, so. Were you like with friends when you got lost?
I was, but then we got lost and kind of
Okay.
I couldn't find them anymore.
That's a shame. If you'd like, you can stay with us. Maybe we can help you find your friends so that you can go to the nearest town together.
Wow, how nice.
Yeah, we can play a game. Do you like games, Miss?
I like games.
Okay. And they kind of move back and like are gathered here and like come over.
Okay. So at this point, because I don't trust this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit uneasy now. They're in a perfect
If
line.
I fire, I will. Firstly, I would like to try and fire an arrow
Mm-hmm.
just into the water away
Ooh, okay.
to get their attention to that.
All right.
And then I want to attempt to speak in that gravelly voice that Yirsala had.
Okay.
And
Alright.
basically say, that is no way to treat guests.
Okay. So I'm going to just ask low DC, but give me a dexterity check to create the distraction with the arrow in such a way that they can't see where you're shooting from. It's kind of you're arcing it up
Yeah.
so that it lands. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Not a sleight of hand.
No, this is. I'd allow this to be like an attack roll. This is technically your aim.
Okay.
So I'll allow this to be an attack. I think stealth-wise you're fine.
Roll.
The stealth itself is fine. Like you won't even break your stealth.
Yeah.
Because you have a high enough stealth.
Yeah. Plus, I still have the possibility of the race is still going.
As
because
that.
that lasts an hour.
Yeah. So you're fine on that.
Lovely.
That's-
So if this is an attack, it's a 25.
Nice.
You're perfectly fine. Like the arrow lands. Like you are trying to create like wherever you want the distraction to happen. It happens there. Like
I'll say just. I don't want to attack any. Like if there are
As
any
a-
shadows, I don't want.
No, as that is that you're targeting
Like
like an
around
empty
here.
space. As that, like you've literally like there's a bit of a sploosh and they all kind of turn in that direction. But it's not enough like that they can see the arrow in that moment. And give me a deception or performance check, I guess, for.
I believe they are the same. Yeah.
It's so sad that I don't have
Oh,
guidance on me.
Yes, sadly. So this is
Would
their
in the meta would guidance break, like kind of stealth, or
technically, officially, yes, but
yeah.
I don't like what it would break is your concentration of passes out the trace. Because guidance is a concentration spell.
I mean, not if someone else casts it.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Side roll. Oh, not bad. That's a 16.
16. Okay. You speak. It is relatively quite convincing. Like even to your companions, I'd say, considering that you're not talking, like you get this sudden like, oh, Yirsala is here. So pretty good. Like your passive insights would be you notice that the three of them are looking in that direction, and then I assume like you're speaking this like from your position, as in like hidden, but like speaking this from where you are at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
I can't project my voice. I don't have such
So
abilities.
then like they turn away to look there, and then immediately like turn back, and you do hear them and like look at each other like, Yirsala here? And you see the two boys are a little bit like spooked. The girl is like, you wouldn't be here, right? There's a bit of doubt. Not like fully like saying like,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, and they kind of look at Zenkela, who's like standing there. What do you do in this moment? Like you hear the voice of Yirsala come from further up from you, a sploosh that comes from below you. What do you do?
Like, oh, who was that? Was that a friend of yours? Was it your parents?
No. They react very like aggressively to that point, like your parents. Okay.
I would
Right.
also say,
Uh-huh.
I know you can be better behaved than this.
You don't tell us what to do, Grandma. And just it. We don't know Zeke. And they say that name out, and you, Celine, see the shadow that was moving. One of them beeline straight towards Enkel. You have essentially you have a chance to react, like a full turn. To react.
The thing I would do would be
Let's say
another. So, if possible, see.
They would have said that before I left my skeletons.
Actually,
I would have told them to just
go ahead.
act on the first sign of violence towards me.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll allow that. For sure.
So I don't know how this affects them.
Actually, something much better.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. I will cast Vortex Warp.
Okay.
Nice.
On Zenkela.
Cool.
Just calculating shit. Yes. Lovely. Yeah. So unless Zenkela wants to succeed the Constitution saving throw,
You
I
feel a
can-
friendly spell affect you in this moment from out of nowhere.
Because I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know who is
You
casting
you
it.
don't know where. I will say this, like you don't know where, you don't know who, but you do feel a friendly touch. Like I will allow
I think I've cast this on you before.
as that. So it's like you feel the presence of like a magical
If I
presence
said it before, then
of
I'd be like, okay.
of someone you've deemed an ally.
Then I will let it happen.
Just so that we don't have to do too much of the meta, like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to make the save against my ally.
I'll let it happen.
Well,
I will. And where is the other shadow?
so
Bertrand?
essentially, I can technically mark them. Can I shift them from their current position to the token layer? Yep, there we go. That's nice. So essentially, like literally in this moment, they're here. This one, they're here.
Let me just.
So it's like in the
another
next
thing.
turn, they'll be right in Zenkela's space.
Yeah. I'm seeing.
I would say
Yeah, that.
the other shadow would have been probably somewhere here, like somewhere here.
Yeah. So that works well. So the range is 90 feet. Let me see that I'm reading it correctly.
I think technically, like vortex warp, you can teleport them from 90 feet from where the target is as well, or something. Like 90 feet from you,
It is.
the target
It
must
is you magically
succeed.
to space around another creature. You can. So technically, it is you that I can see within range. So that is 90 feet from me. Target teleport is on unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range.
Okay, so it's like essentially you have a 90-foot radius around you where you can anyone within that 90-foot radius you can plop them anywhere else in that 90-foot radius.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So I will plop them right over here. And as I do, I say, Tisk.
I'm going to
There's
say
no
you
way.
moved here.
Treat. Yes. They try to pump the
You
gravitas
say that,
of
and they're just like
Yirsala
you can
getting angry.
You can see them panicking, and they're like, Zeke, now, just stop him, stop whatever they stop them. That's like what you
Do
hear.
not lay a hand on this fellow.
In this moment,
They all shift
I'll-
into animals, so technically they're not laying hands on us.
oh my god. I'll say you do that. That's your action. You say that. You add the gravitas to it. You teleport, Zenkela. You feel your body shift through space in an instant and appear on this, like, it's actually here. It's not difficult terrain because you're not in the water. You actually plop on like a little bit of a patch of roots, enough that it's kind of like land, I guess. And then in that same moment, Zix pops out from right where Zenkela was, and you can see like let me confirm if like what they would have basically done. You would see this like almost, it's more like fish-like in the moment as it explodes from the water, and there's a swell of acidic vitriol that comes out from that splash, as whatever like maneuver he was about to do, it was what probably you think was the same thing that caused the acid before in the other things that you saw. And you see this burst of acid and plops out like essentially here, and it's just like Yirsala, you can't be here. What do you want with us now? We're just... You see anger, and he's looking around, and like looks, I guess, in the direction where
I just would
Yes.
like to move my skeletons back 15 feet if I can.
Yeah, I'll say in this turn as like they haven't gone into full active mode, so you can take a turn to like just
Okay.
command telepathically. Yeah, they go further in. I'm not sure if the zombie could have moved that far, maybe.
Then I'll put them there.
Because the zombie is very slow. But like I said, as a creature, it can only move 20 feet.
I'll give them in front. Okay, no problem.
The others, they didn't move that much. Yes. You see this individual Zeke looking around, yeah.
I will reply, as I said, all I ask is that you show them some kindness. They are lost. They might need some protection. Their friends might need some protection. You really should hand over those pretty little cloaks of yours.
You see an aggressive, like the teeth almost like barring through the water, as it like bears his teeth in your direction. That's what you want. That's what you always want. You can't take them, so you want them from us. They're ours. We got them fair and square. They're ours.
Did you though?
And
Did you get them fair and square?
you, from where he is, you see him like twist his hand into the air as if like generating this like acidic ball and lobs it in your direction, not hitting you because you're still like covered, but like it hits and it starts to sizzle, this acidic hit. Just leave us alone. We don't hunt you, we hunt the lost here. You don't care about them. You want their memories just as much as we do. We just know how to take them. And it just does that.
I will let.
You see also other, you see two other shadows move. And, Yes, you see them. They're not rolling pretty well. Lucky you. Essentially, they've moved past Zeke, and they're getting to where you are.
I
Just as a note,
will-
all the skeletons will prepare a volley to hit Zeke. Okay,
Okay, they will focus.
like they're holding their action to prepare a volley.
Gotcha.
I will attempt to cast once again. Vortex Warp. But this time on Zeke.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
And I will prop Zeke. Attempt to prop Zeke. Over here on the land.
Okay. So he needs to make.
Um,
What is the save?
Constitution saving throw.
Right. That's not bad. What's his con? The 16.
Succeed.
You see the other kids are like, what are we going to do? What off? And then like suddenly like wrenches and feels like his body getting like shifted. No. Just get her, get her. I don't care. Just when we do this. And you see the water start to break, and I will need everyone to roll initiative in this moment. I will allow the skeletons to get their shot in before this round, essentially. That they were.
A grand total of 10 for me.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I
Only
I rolled an
thanks to
8 and a
alert.
9.
Ooh, okay. I'm sure that's still pretty not
So
bad.
that's a total of
10,
14.
14, okay.
I have more
I
time
still
to
have my
think,
40
please.
skeleton.
I'll do 6 separately, and then
My saving grace is my 40 stealth right now.
group 1 and group 2. We'll do them like that, because that makes Z. Okay. That's good for you guys. That wasn't even a real roll. Can I please roll like a normal person? Okay, good. Alright. Well, Senkila, how much is your initiative?
12.
12. Ulster, how much dex do you technically have? What's your score?
Let me tell you. 14.
14. Okay. So you are. I guess I'll put you that because that way it's easier for me to track. Okay. So skeletons get a shot. And we will shift. Kelly?
So,
Yes.
so I rolled all three already. Was I 23? Sorry, 24 to hit.
That hits.
A 14 to hit,
That hits.
and a 20 to hit.
20, that hits as well. Yep.
Alright, no one.
So. Mhm.
Is the extra +5 that I get
On the
for
damage.
that's for damage? Okay.
Yes. You get +5. I think it's plus proficiency, I think. No? Or am I believe it's plus proficiency.
That's +5.
Plus. Let me confirm on the throws. The creatures add your proficiency bonus to its weapon damage rolls. So your proficiency bonus. So it's a +3 right now.
Why did I think it was +5?
You might have had like your wizard level, because that's how much you used to add for their health. Because your health, you add your wizard
see.
level to their health. So right now they add 6 on top of what they normally
I
have.
see.
But
Sorry, coming.
that's okay.
The fuck is it?
So
Okay.
I believe they're, I forget if they're short bows or long
I know, but
bows.
from because they already have +2, so I add another +3, so +5.
I forget if they're like the
Yeah,
dice itself. If they're
So
short
it
bows.
is. So first one is 10
Okay.
piercing damage. Second one is 9 piercing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and third one is 7 piercing damage.
10, 9, and 7, 16, 26.
Yep.
No. There. Nice. The out from the cover of stealth that they have, these arrows shoot out and like they make themselves seen now as the skeletons kind of just like eke out, shoot, and Zeke takes 3 hits. The arrows kind of like pushing past the outer water layer and like actually embedding in and just they're here, they're all here. Yeah, that is their initial round, and I'll say, yeah, Solemn, you are first to act. Yep, I rolled the shittiest initiatives as well. So,
Just out of curiosity, does
so I'm going to.
Astray, since they have not interacted, do they get a what's the word? Surprise round?
Technically it is true. You haven't been seen. I'd say it's less of a surprise
One
round
action.
at this point because like they know that they're in combat, they know that stuff is happening, but essentially you will be effectively hidden in like as soon as your turn starts. So they don't know you're there, they won't go for you, and your first attack will be advantage essentially, like, or whatever you do benefits from being hidden. And I
Nice.
need to change these guys' layer. Okay. There. That's essentially where the other two. They are still like essentially. They are still not targetable for all intents and purposes because they are underwater. Like you can see the shadow. I guess they are like. They will be at a detriment. To attack them will be hard.
Yeah. And am I also considered as hidden?
At this point, you've been speaking. You have advantage anyway from being first to act, I believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair. So never mind. The skeletons attack Zeke.
yes, specifically Zeke, and you see he's hurt pretty bad from that. But
Okay. I will shooting through the water. What will the penalty be?
essentially, disadvantage on your attack, which will be countered by your advantage, and they would have resistance because piercing damage is halved underwater. If I recall correctly, when it comes to underwater combat, which essentially shooting someone who is underwater would be the same.
Yeah. I target this third one.
Yep. Those are
without issue. without issue.
Yeah,
they
without
have
issue. Yeah.
cover
Those
thing.
Zeke and those three near the tree
Because
are
these
all.
because these are underwater.
These
Okay,
two
yeah,
specifically are underwater.
Mhm.
These they are all fine. These are all okay.
Okay. I would like to. It would be a bit of a stretch, but I would like to attempt to whiz the arrow past their heads. And I basically say, this will be your last. This will be my last warning.
Okay.
Do so, and you will be spared.
Interesting. Okay. I'll say, give me an attack roll just to get the vibe of
Yep.
how deadly the shot would have been.
Yeah.
And then that will determine the DC for the follow-up.
Okay. Man, I wish I had actually said to hit them. Natural 20.
Ooh.
No,
Okay.
damn.
Give me an intimidation
Oh.
check. Give me an intimidation check to add to this. But that is already. You're working off of gold.
Yeah, the roll would have technically been a 30,
Okay. Yeah.
if that makes a difference.
I mean, it's a nat 20 attack roll. It would have been. It
Yeah, I know.
could have killed. And ironically, it could have killed.
Like outright.
I mean, Solemn does pretty high damage with the sharpshootering and the planar warrior attack or the first attack.
This wasn't even with sharpshooter. It's like it's still,
I mean, yeah, fair, but like a nat 20 would have hit even if you
Yeah.
did sharpshooter, so it's like the whole
this could also have been sneak attack damage.
Sneak attack. It would have definitely been sneak attack because you
Yeah,
had advantage. So
Exactly.
yeah, it could have killed.
So that is, I believe it's a +1, but I rolled pretty high, so that's a 19.
Oh, as well. Okay. You shoot. The arrow thuds right beside the head of that one would have been Jason, I believe, one of the boys, and you can see a visible shock, and then Zeke turn around, see it, and then look back in your direction as you say that, and look down at where the arrows are already having been pretty bloodied by that instant barrage that came from nowhere, from their perspective. Yeah. I'd say he says, "Stop." Fine. And that's what he says. But technically, we're still initiative. I don't know if anyone else was active.
Yeah.
So technically, next up would be actually Zenkela.
Fuck.
But you can hold your turn essentially.
Could I possibly say something else? Would that be?
I'll allow it. It wasn't that long, and you only used half your attack. I'll allow like a sentence.
I would tell Zenkela again in the Yirsala voice. I believe you have gifts for people who help you, don't you, Zenkela? That's it.
Okay. Zenkela, your turn. You hear that?
Um, I'll pull out the bag of sand and I'll say, "Oh, as I was going to tell you, I am a trader of sorts. I come here to trade memories for memories. So,
Looks
if
back at you, kind of just
if you're
indicates.
interested in potent memories, maybe we can do a switch." Oh shit! My fucking thing was up there.
It's okay. I could hear you. I could hear you. Though.
Alright.
It was just you are a bit quiet, but
Okay.
it's okay. Okay. Looks at you. Do you do anything else other than say that?
I am holding a witch bolt.
Okay. I will say holding a witch bolt does look like there is crackling lightning in your hand.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do that like as an intimidating way.
Okay. I'm just making sure that
situation.
you're not like okay. So we're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, like
So-
we can leave peacefully with our offering, or we can
Lightning energy
destroy
crackling
you.
in one hand, you hold. It's like it now glows a little bit brightly as you allow it to, sort of like letting the magic of it kind of posture a little bit more. As it kind of turns. You see in that moment, technically after your turn, the two under the water kind of, sort of, their speed stops right at the tension, the surface tension of the water, like right there. You can kind of see their faces in the water, and then they kind of like just peek out, and they're like look, and then look back and Zeke. What are we doing, Zeke? Stop. Fine. There's too many of them. Trade? We don't have anything to give you. We're not giving you anything. You can just go.
You're wearing what we need.
Those are ours. And
This is mine.
yeah. And Zeke does look at it a little bit. It's like, yeah. And kind of holds onto the mantle a little bit. You see the others kind of like move into the water just a little bit and kind of like hide in it. Like not hiding like they're out of sight, but just like they're scared.
To hide.
And I guess
So can I see that there's like a visible aura of like fear?
yes, no. You are not. You're right now. What I was about to say, you're unsure whether, like, it's hard to tell in the heat of this moment as things are happening one at a time.
Yeah, this might be a
But-
bit aggressive, but I'm gonna say, the sand for your mantle, or your life, as
You,
the energy crackles.
you say that, and right now you're unsure. Like all of you are unsure whether what you're seeing is another ploy. Of like them showing fear as like an act of trying to garner
fair,
sympathy,
fair.
or whether the veneer of their confidence has broken and they are in their true state of being kids that are scared. It's unsure to tell which is which. Zeke looks at you. You won't kill us? You'll take Yirsala away. Looks in the direction where Solemn has been speaking. She won't bug us again.
I won't kill you for one mantle. If you want her to go away, we're gonna need more than one.
How many?
3 in all.
They kind of like not huddle up per se, but kind of are just looking at each other.
Team huddle.
And they're just like more like looking at each other, and they're kind of like, I don't want to give up mine. And like Zeke is looking at them, kind of looks, yeah. Okay. You leave us
On my,
alone.
on my on my turn, this is the note. The skeletons will hold another volley.
They hold the volley as well. You leave us all alone.
Yes, you have my word.
They kind of look in the direction of where Yirsala was speaking.
You have Ursilla's word as well.
Hear it
She's
from
my-
her.
That is true.
Okay. And your other friends, the ones who shot me.
There's nobody else shooting.
There
That's
were
Ursula.
3. They came from different areas. I know Yirsila's strong, but she can't do that.
Never know.
No,
Shall
we
Shall we
know.
try it again? Try it out?
I'm just saying, I just want to make sure they don't shoot us too.
Everyone will leave.
Everyone will leave.
Yes.
Yes.
No one will
Promise.
hurt you.
Ostra speaks now as well. From the cover.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
All my skeletons will go "Whoa," in the forest.
So, suddenly realizing how outnumbered they are technically. Whether they don't know how skilled the skeletons are technically,
Yeah,
but
the
like,
zombie was sort of pounding
Yeah.
the earth.
but it's 7v6, I guess. They are outnumbered, and outmaneuvered at least. They've all
It
like
would have been nice, actually.
they kind
Would
of
have
like
wiped you out easily.
they kind of like hold their tongues a little bit on that point. And then the 2 that were in the water about to attack Yirsala move next to Zeke. And they all take off. Like these 3, and they seem to be the older. Like you see all 6 of them now. And like Zeke looks the oldest. And then the 2 others in the water seem to be like maybe like what you'd say like a year younger or 2, and then the other ones are like 3 years / even 4 years maybe younger, like more of a
Question,
13,
how
14.
big or heavy are the mantles?
You look at them, they take them off, and kind of like they give them to Zeke, and as they take them off, you can see that they look visibly weakened. They seem to be like like shivering a little, as if almost like they're sick. They take them off, and then Zeke takes off his as well, kind of piles them together in his hands, and
I'll
they're
tell
like
my snake off to collect them. That's why also how
I'm
heavy or
thinking.
big they are.
I think for a snake they're a little bit too much
Okay.
to carry like even to carry.
Can I-
one.
Things into
I'm
the
going-
water.
Thank you.
I'll
I'm
walk
going
out.
to go and help the snake.
Okay, Ostra moves out.
Okay, Ostra
um,
walks out.
And kind of Zeke like winces and seeing you come out.
My hand is still like I sheath the glaive behind my back, and I pick up the mantles.
You can see there is a bit of a hint of aggression from the 3 next to the younger ones, but they're not moving to act, and you're pretty sure they're not going to attack. But what you're seeing is more of like they're pissed at this scenario, but the older ones seem to realize the situation, and that's
Yeah.
like what you're picking up. And Ostra, they hand you, and you feel like they feel cold, but they don't feel wet. It's water. It looks like water, but it doesn't feel like water. It just feels like a cold cloak. 3 of them like piled together, handed to you.
Astra will file this information in her brain to be confused about later.
And kind of like as you sort of, he drops them into your hands, kind of pulls away, sort of shivering a little. Okay, now go. Leave us alone.
Okay. We'll leave.
And they're
Thank you
and they
for your kindness.
And I'll drop the bag with the sand in the same position I was.
Okay, you leave it there.
I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I'll give them a false hope.
You leave it there, and do you start to walk away? What are you guys all doing in this moment? Like you leave the bag.
I'm walking as fast, like dashing and just going as far
Okay,
as I
and
can.
you run off. Okay, you run off. You
I
see.
mean, I wasn't the real threat there. Ivan, or whatever her name was, is.
Okay, what do the rest of you do?
Before
Restart.
heading off,
I will stay.
before following Zenkila to make
ahead,
sure
sorry.
that she doesn't get herself in trouble,
Sure.
I'm going to look at the sirens, children, I don't know what to call them.
Nereids were
Nereids.
what they were
Sorry,
called,
sorry,
but,
I
but you
forgot
can
the
call
term.
them children. The children is probably.
And I look at them and I'll be like, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. And then I turn and I...
One of the younger ones hisses at you, just, and you see these teeth like bar out, almost like the jaw becoming more like fish-like, and then returns back, and Zeke just turns. Let them go. Just we can't deal. They're not like the other ones. And yeah. And you, Solemn, so that's Ostra, and then you move off to follow Zenkila.
Yeah, I'll stay there. I'll throw a rock in a random direction, kind of simulate Yirsala leaving.
Okay.
And I will stay there, and kind of just like monitor for a bit, see if they go anywhere else or if they just stay there. Because I would like to maintain the appearance that Selene was not there.
Okay. You do so. Give me a. I'll call this a sleight of hand check, but you add your charisma. But proficiency and if expertise, you get them.
So that sleight of hand. So instead of my dex, I'm adding my charisma.
Yeah, but if you have proficiency and expertise,
No, I do not.
Okay.
Not bad. That'd be better. So that is. Yeah. So that's just that. 13.
13. Okay. Not paying attention. But... Okay. You see them look in the direction where you tossed the rock, as in like Donna, and after like just a second or two, Zeke kind of looks in the direction where Zenkila dropped the bag, and kind of swims to it, like vanishing into the water and then popping back out there, kind of picking it up and looking at it, and you see him try to eat the bag, and it eats the bag, and then just kind of sand spills out, as like it can't past that point, the illusion can't like work further. It bursts and sand just spills out. You see this kid, this teenager, like on the verge of adulthood, I guess, just aggravated and disappointed.
Pure trauma.
And just there's a that's the most you can really understand. You see the others kind of like gathering. The two other ones that gave up their mantles seem very like weak, and they move against the tree, kind of leaning against it. The other three kind of looking around, and then Zeke kind of comes back and just kind of looks in the direction of where you all ran, and then looks in your direction, Solemn, seemingly like he might have noticed that it was a ploy, The others seem to be like believe that they are unwitnessed right now, but he just says, Zeke just says, it's up to you three now. We can't do anything until we get our mantles. We make them again. I'm sorry. And the two boys just kind of like pat him. It's like, fine. And then the girl is like, I mean, was bound to happen eventually. And Zeke like stares in her direction. Whatever, fine. And seeps down into the water, kind of like looking again in your direction and then vanishing almost entirely, like no shadow available to see. This one.
And the others, they just stay there.
They stay there. They're kind of like they're the other two. They're kind of trying to be helped a little bit. Effectively, like looking at them for a while, you can tell that they are essentially poisoned. Like they are under the poison condition.
Yeah.
As they are. Yeah. But they don't seem to go to chase, from what you can tell. They looked demoralized.
Yep. Cool. If I went away, would they be able to see me? Like, would I?
I'd say reasonably you can make your way without them really noticing. They're not focused. They believe that they're not trying.
Yeah.
Like your passive stealth beats their passive perception.
So yeah, I will.
You move.
After seeing this, just like
you very quickly
in
detect
fact,
where
yeah.
your companions have moved to, like feeling around and kind of like reaching out to a direction.
Tracking humanoids is my thing.
That's also true. And even then, it's like these are people you know. You can, you can pinpoint them perfectly.
And we are not trying to hide from yours.
And that's also true. And you eventually converge.
Yeah, but I have no idea where you would have gone.
Yeah, and it was still like for a normal person, like it would have been hard. If any of you had been left behind, like it would have required effort and risk of getting actually lost.
Yeah.
You, for all intents and purposes, you running off did mean you got lost. You only never get lost because you have Solemn with you. Otherwise,
GPS.
Run off too far.
this is essentially like really. This is just to measure it on D&D. This is like you guys are constantly in the Feywild, and it's like the risk of getting lost forever is as easy as breathing. But you convene. Ostra, you are holding these three mantles. As you hold them, and as like you've run past, and then eventually Solemn kind of finds you and you stop. You can feel power emanating from the mantles. You look at them, you see them like fluctuate, and every so often you can see like wisps of faces within the mantle. You hear whispers that are like illegible, like you can barely understand anything, but there are like little scenes playing out. There are memories in these mantles, just trapped within them, and you hold them in your hand. You can tell none of them are yours, for if they were, you would immediately have reacted and caused an effect, much like you had when you initially interacted with one of your memories. So you are certain none of them are yours. But yeah. And in this moment, you have what you needed. With only a bit of blood spilled.
Hey, blood is water, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This moment I will ask, what would you like to do before we wrap up? We will
We should
I will
start
keep
heading
the
back.
pass without a trace until it ends.
You hold on to it, sure. Austin, what did you?
We're heading towards Yirsala.
Okay.
The next part.
We should head back before we lose Senkila again.
No, I'll actively
I-
look for you.
I'll also like pat and Zenkila like, good job. You could do it.
You know, I always thought I'd make a good mother one day. I mean,
Hey,
I'm a great mother to
you
my
still-
to my children.
Exactly. Don't beat yourself up. Doing a great job.
Thanks.
Don't
That's,
start-
you know what? I really needed that. That was great. Thank you.
The skeletons kind of like nod in acknowledgement. Like,
My children, my kitties.
the zombie going.
There's a newborn.
That's
right
you, Zenkila, understand that to me. That's my mom.
That's my mama.
Exactly.
You speak the language of the undead, and you can understand that that's
Ostra smiles, but it's a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. She's still conflicted
yeah.
over the thought process that she had before.
Yeah. That's
What
fair.
happened to me? What am I? Why am I reticent to the idea of hurting children even though I'm a warrior? And if I am a warrior as I am, as my body seems to remember to be, I must have done worse, right?
You, for now, will not know. But you have acquired what you were asked to acquire. You begin to move, Solemn leading the way, and eventually you return to the clearing, and the cottage is there. And as you walk towards it, the door just opens on its own. And I'll say, we'll leave it here. Congrats. Good job.
Sorry, we ruined your combat.
No, not at all. Not at all. I am. That was one of the,
open for other options.
that was one of the ways you could do it. There was like the game sounded very interesting. The display was pretty good too. It left a lot of.
Thank you, Celine, for pulling it off.
Not gonna lie. Like,
I'm
not gonna
surprised
lie.
that worked,
When Zeke paused, like succeeded against the DC, I was like, oh, we gotta.
Yeah.
we
No,
gotta.
It was a
It
good I think the combo of the skeletons essentially putting him past bloodied, and then you essentially critting, and then getting like a total 19 combined. It was reasonable that a bunch of kids would be too scared to deal with this.
Yeah.
I swear my intimidation is +1.
Yeah, but
Like I rolled really well on that intimidation.
like in my mind, I thought if it, like I'd already lowered the DC to like a 10 just for it to like have an effect. But I was like, for every like extra more you get, it might just resolve the conflict entirely. Which I mean, I got a 19. I'm like, you're 1 away from a 20, which is kind of the total max DC. So it was reasonable and leaves room for future stuff. That's the fun part when you don't kill my potential enemies. That means I can use them again another time. That's always fun.
Hopefully in a non-enemy way.
Well, we'll see. You left these guys pretty traumatized, so.
Yeah.
Give
I'm
them
just
years.
traumatized. They're like, we left them with a gift that they thought was something else.
They thought they at least had like a little tiny mote of like potential.
We'll have them with like hundreds of euros of therapy bills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lovely. But no, you
Hopefully they
succeeded, and I'm happy it went this way. And now you'll just have one, technically 3, I guess, but 1 more ingredient each, and you will be that much closer to an incantation to shroud you from your enemies, and potentially, and probably, completing another task. Which you know what that means.
More
Peace,
trauma,
baby.
yay!
Level up.
Yeah.
Lovely. But with that, we will close here for today. Thank you, everyone.
Already?
Yes, I know. Thank you for those of
Bedtime
you
already.
who stuck around or who watched, even who tuned in for a bit. Always, we also have YouTube, where, well, we might have not posted for a while, but we will be posting all of our stuff soon to get ourselves all updated there, and you can watch us there. And otherwise, we stream 8:30 p.m. CEST on Wednesdays and Thursdays typically. Tomorrow, Adam will do a TCG simulation gaming stream. And then otherwise, just stay tuned for when we're around and we're online. Thank you, everyone. Bid you all a good night. Take care.
Good night.
And
Nice.
see you next time.
Good day.
See you.
Bye.
You